Today, I'm going to be washing my 2022 Ford Mustang. I figured with it being a hot day today here in Texas on December for odd reasons, I would wash this thing today. It would give me time to relax and not overproduce every piece of content that I make, but also do things that I'm very interested in, which is cars. Typically, I like to keep my Mustang pretty clean, so I won't be soaping it down or anything like that. I'm just pretty much going to be rinsing it off and then waxing a little bit. Then after that's done, I feel like we should go for a cruise and just talk. So without further ado, let's get into the cleaning. Like I said, I'm just going to be rinsing it down, waxing it, and then vacuuming out the interior, and then we're going to go for a little cruise.
I am using a garden hose and a sprayer, but you can't forget about spraying the rims. Most people would say this is not professional, but this beats spending $100 on a detail. Moving on to the front end, definitely want to have that cleaned up as well, especially with those angry looking headlights. Next, we're just going to repeat everything that we did on the driver's side on the passenger side and make sure that everything is wet and clean. Never forget about the rims. Those are definitely the eye catchers to every car. As I make my way to the rear of the car, you can definitely tell that I changed the taillights, and I was using VHT nightshade, but over time that has faded. So I plan on stripping that off and buying some covers to make it look better. Check out that amazing rainbow. Now is the time for misting. I use a mist as a spot-free rinse, and I'm laying the water down like I'm laying down some paint. All we're gonna do with the mist is go back around the car, make sure that I didn't miss any spots, and then wipe down the vehicle.
The whole reason why I'm doing this in my backyard is mainly because the water spigon's right here and it's just easier to get to, but expect more content like this.
Now I'm just gonna wipe down the car with a towel that I had laying around but is clean that I'm not using. This could be a controversial take because I'm not actually using the tools that a detailer would use, but it's still getting the job done. And don't forget to go hard on those mirrors because you definitely want to see those headlights when you're winning your next race. I typically start drying the car from the rear of the driver's side and moving my way around the vehicle until everything is dry and spotless. You can't forget about the lovely view of the rear, my rear to be exact. Always make sure to wipe down the side panels of your car because sometimes the water gets past the rubber seals, and whenever people get into your vehicle, that doesn't look very pleasant. But hey, she is looking cleaner and better already.
Little unknown secret, especially whenever dealing with plastics on cars, black plastics that are on the outside that tend to fade, is you can use this Meguiar's Super Shine High Gloss Protection and it'll blacken up those black plastics. But the only problem with this is it's super oily, so over time it'll collect dirt again. If you use it on a regular basis, your black plastics on the outside of your car will look phenomenal. However, there are a lot of detailing products out there that are 10 times better than this. What I'm going to use to wax the car is this Lucas bottle. It's been kind of deformed, but nonetheless it still works. I've been testing out a whole bunch of like ceramic waxes. A lot of them are trash. Like a lot of them that are in the store are just complete trash and you're overpaying for everything. There is one ceramic wax that I can't remember the name of that my buddy uses on his Shelby. He pays like $30 a bottle for it, but it works really well. You barely spray it on there and your car looks like glass. This stuff, definitely not. It's not worth it. I would advise not using this stuff. Me, I'm going to use it because I paid a high price for the bottle, so I'm just going to use it until it goes out.
I'm just spraying the ceramic wax ever so lightly and then wiping the area down that I had sprayed it on. I'm doing one panel at a time, and yes, I'm using a microfiber towel that has been cleaned and dried, and it is perfect for ceramic wax. You can clearly tell that my ADHD started kicking in because I started wiping random areas down and then going back over multiple times times just to make it perfect, but it was still getting the job done and everything was coming out clean and clear. One major thing that I like doing with ceramic wax spray is spraying it down and then wiping it and then going back over it with another clean towel to make sure that everything is smooth. You don't have to do this method, but this is something that I like doing just to make sure that everything looks good on the car. And more expensive detailer sprays actually work better and make it where you don't have to work as hard. But for right now, this is the only spray that we have, so this is exactly what we're gonna do. The rear of the Mustang tends to get pretty hard, especially with the black trunk lid, but if you want to phase that out totally, you might as well go with the S650 Mustang. Now we're just going to complete the look of the car by wiping it down a second time like I had stated earlier. For some reason there were a whole lot of flies around me that were really annoying, and I guess it was because of the water and me washing my car. The last thing on the list is getting out all the dirt in the interior with the vacuum cleaner. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I tend to keep my Mustang pretty clean, so the inside of this car is not very dirty. As you can tell, I was very concentrated on cleaning everything out. One last pass through and then a wipe down, and then we are good and set for a cruise. We are coming up to the end of my video, guys. I figured I would put this video out for the New Year's, as I've had this Mustang for 2 years now, and this car has done really well. Even with it being an EcoBoost and not a 5.0, it still packs a punch for everything that I need, and it does really well with gas saving, especially in these times whenever gas is just extremely expensive. I really like that I can take it through some mountains or take it on just a daily cruise and not waste so much fuel, but still have a lot of fun. As you can see on the gauge cluster, I do have a low washer fluid sign, but I do intend on getting more washer fluid, not blinker fluid. As this car comes up on its 36,000 mile warranty, I do plan on either bagging it or putting coilovers on, just because I want to have a different ride experience. With it being an EcoBoost and not a 5.0, even though I've seen some EcoBoost outperform a 5.0, I am definitely more interested in slamming it or doing some type of crazy suspension modification to it. It definitely won't be a Stance Nation car, because Stance Nation is just not a thing these days, but it will be something that I would love to drive every day. And with that being said, guys, this is going to be the end of my video, and I'm out.